ISRO has never been in the business for any competition. Our father of space, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, said we should be second to none in using advanced technologies for the good of the mankind. Prime Minister has opened up the space sector. There are many private sectors which are coming in, and we are hand-holding them to do experiments that they want to do. It's always called ISRO culture. Even the smallest of the employee at the lowest level, his voice is heard. Everybody, the smallest technician, will work with that passion, that happiness when you could see when it landed. That satisfaction you will not get anywhere else.
Recently, Bharat celebrated the phenomenal success of Chandrayaan 3, and many scientific conversations have happened around it. But who are the humans behind the success, especially the women? You will be astonished by the simplicity of Srimati Hemalatha Gnaneshwar, a scientist at ISRO for 34 years. We talk about her ISRO experience, ISRO culture, and future missions. Namaskara, ma'am.
Namaskara.
It's so nice, and I'm so lucky to have someone like you on our show, which is Prana Stories. So welcome. Somebody like you who is a scientist at ISRO. First of all, I should say congratulations. You have really done everybody proud in our country,
so
right? So it's like world over.
Yeah.
People see images of sari-clad scientists, right? Making a success and landing on moon. Nobody could even imagine somebody, people of this kind of profile can do this. So really, really proud, and really proud that we have someone like you on our show.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to come to your show. Hope that I'll be able to answer all your questions.
That's okay, ma'am. Whenever you find something which is not comfortable, you can just pause and say, we can always, adjust that. That's fine.
Sure.
So let's start a little bit about yourself. Like, how did you get into ISRO? And what's your journey? You have been in ISRO for 34 years.
Yes.
That's like 3 decades.
Yes.
That's like, that kind of an experience is like amazing to have. Yeah. So how did you start, and where are you right now, and what do you do currently? It'll be a good thing for the audience to know.
Yeah. Actually, I started as a BSc graduate.
Okay.
I did my physics, chemistry, mathematics from MES college. And I was doing my post-BSc diploma in computer science in Central College.
Okay.
That was 1-year course. That time computer science had just started when it was all around 87, 88.
Okay.
And I just started at that time, and I just like that I had a friend near my house who told me to apply for ISRO. Frankly speaking, I did not even know much about ISRO at that time. He told me there's a position that is on scientific assistant.
Okay.
So you can apply for that.
Okay.
And I applied. I was still continuing my diploma.
Okay.
And I went for the written test and interview, which went on fine, but I never expected that I will
you must have
land
been
a
really
job.
No, you must have been really good at it.
I don't know.
That's why they took you, right?
Yeah, there were around, not many at that time, as I told, not many knew about ISRO. Some 40-50 candidates had come.
Okay.
So, and I never expected. Suddenly one day I had gone outside and I got a call from my neighbor saying there's a letter for you from Government of India.
Nice.
And I was surprised, what is it that I'm going to get from Government of India in my name? Usually it will come in my father's name. He was working as a spinning manager in NTC.
Okay.
So I was wondering, and when we came home, and at that time we had to go to post office to collect the letters.
Okay.
So went
because it was a registered.
Registered post, and it had to be taken by me. So we went, both myself and my father went to the post office and collected, and we were so surprised that we didn't have any words to express, and it was all God's grace, our Gurudev's grace, that could land a job. Okay, it was.
So you started as a scientific assistant.
Assistant, yes.
Okay, what does that mean? Like?
Yeah, we are assistants to all those engineers who are working there.
Okay.
and mainly ISTRAC. It's ISRO Telemetry Tracking Command Network.
Okay, you'll have to explain what is telemetry tracking,
Yeah.
because I work for an IT company,
Yes.
so I understand telemetry.
Yes.
But it will be better that if you
I'll
explain.
tell. Telemetry is you map the distance or in which orbit you are going to measure the distance of the satellite. Where is it in the orbit? Whether it is going in the correct orbit. All those measurements will be done by telemetry.
Okay.
Metering.
Basically,
And
it is like statistics of the orbit.
Yes, statistics of the orbit, and it will be moving in a particular orbit, and sometimes it may move for whatever reason. So we have to really measure the distance from Earth. So telemetry is that. ISRO, as you know, it's Indian Space Research Organization, and tracking is tracking the satellite again. We have to again track the satellite and get it to a particular orbit so that it doesn't move out, or if there's any problem with the temperature in the satellite or there's a pressure, all those things have to be measured. We have to track it in that particular orbit, and then we have to give commands to make whatever corrections or movements or maneuvers that we have to do for the satellite.
Okay.
So we take over the satellite once it is launched. Mainly we give support for even launching the satellite. So the launch vehicle support and the satellite support for low Earth orbit satellites, which are within 1,000 kilometers above the Earth.
Okay.
So we give the tracking support and command support for those satellites.
Okay.
These are usually called remote sensing satellites.
Okay.
It can be ocean sat or resource sat, and so many land mapping, soil mapping, forestry, oceans, and meteorology. So, and also what is the rainfall that we are expecting. All those measurements these satellites will do. So we take care of those satellites and science satellites. Science satellites like AstroSat, we have AstroSat which will find out the space, what are all the available in the space, planets or asteroids. So that tracking will be done by AstroSat. We have Chandrayaan 1, 2, 3. Now we don't have Chandrayaan 1. Chandrayaan 2 orbiter is still orbiting around the moon. And now Chandrayaan 3, where we have a propulsion unit which is again orbiting the moon. Then we have lander and a rover. So lander is around 1700 kg weight. And rover is 26 kg weight with 6 wheels to move around the surface of the moon.
Yeah, we saw all those visuals that come in the television.
True.
So you started with the being an assistant to this department, which is telemetry department.
Yeah.
And then you have been continuing there.
Yeah.
Right now, when I read your profile, you are the planning and propagation group?
No, program planning and evaluation group.
Evaluation group. You are
group.
the head of that.
I am the group head.
Okay. What does that mean?
Program planning, all the program that we have to plan
that
for
is
the satellites.
Is it only for the telemetry or the entire?
Telemetry.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, ISRO is a very big unit. This is only regarding telemetry tracking and command.
Okay.
We do the program planning and evaluate whatever. And we have all the contracts that we have to have with other agencies, outside agencies other than India, global agencies. Then we have to have external support from all these. So we do the planning. What is required for tracking this satellite or tracking the launch vehicles. See, different launch vehicles, we need different tracking. So we have to do that. For that, we have to do a lot of planning. The mission that is available in URSC, that is UR Space Satellite Center, that is in Old Airport Road. They design and develop the satellites. They build the satellites. That is the mission team.
The physical aspects of
physical. They develop the satellites, complete satellite they develop, and they put all the controls into the satellites, all automation. So everything happens. Whatever commands we have to give, the controls are with done by URSC. They give the commands and we have to transfer those commands.
Okay.
So that part we take care. So their launch vehicle, if it has to move in a particular eastward side of the launch or southward, so for that, which are all the stations that is required for tracking, that is done by us.
Okay.
So for example, we have around 14 to 15 stations, ground stations.
Okay.
Because we have to track those launch vehicles and satellites. So we have Bangalore, we have Lucknow, Trivandrum, Sriharikota, Port Blair, Mauritius,
Okay.
Brunei, then Biak in Indonesia. So we have these stations, plus we have support from many other KSAT, that is Kongsberg Satellite Limited.
Okay.
That is a company, global company, from whom we take support for our satellites.
Okay.
So, and SSC, this is Swedish Space Corporation.
Okay.
Then we have ESA, European Space Agency.
Okay.
So from all those things, it's a mutual cooperation between India and the global
Okay. So
space
only
leaders.
when there is like treaties between these countries,
Yeah.
that these kind of things
Yeah,
will be shared.
we usually have memorandum of understanding
Okay,
with
okay.
all these countries, and we support each other.
Nice.
If they want support for their launch vehicles, we are ready to give.
Okay.
If we want, they will
Okay.
also give those.
So in these 34 years, how many missions were you part of?
Yeah, actually, most of the, if you see, AS, when I joined, we had just started ASLV, and there were a few failures in the beginning, because ASLV is assembled satellite launch vehicle.
Okay.
Augmented satellite launch vehicle.
Okay.
First, actually, 79 was the first Aryabhatta launch, 75. April 1975, Aryabhatta was launched by Russian Space Agency. It was our satellite launched by Russian Space Agency. Then 79, we had our SLV. It is satellite launch vehicle.
Okay.
First was a failure. Then 80, we had success. So we had 3 Rohini series of satellites which were launched into the orbit. After that, we had ASLV, Augmented Satellite Launch Vehicle, which was not that much of a success. So we started to Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle.
That is PSLV.
PSLV.
Okay.
So from that time, I am in the same, and I have been a part of this program planning and evaluation group from the beginning.
Okay.
My 34 years of service, I have worked in that
Okay.
area only.
Okay.
And not only that, we take care of deputations. So we have to send our engineers to Brunei, Biak, Indonesia, or sometimes we are even sending them into the sea on a ship. And we have our transportable terminals which need to be set up on the ship. And from there we have to support the launch vehicles.
Okay.
Or sometimes we have to go to Fiji and so many other places where we have sent our people. So we have to send them on deputations.
Okay.
So that we have to take
Basically,
care.
if I understand it right, according to my understanding,
Yeah.
there is dish which receives data from the satellite. That's what happens, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's a dish with feed and all other electronics which goes into we actually have around 11-meter antenna in Pina.
Okay.
We have 2 campuses in Pina, one called as Spacecraft Control Center, one more is Mission Operations Complex. So there we have 11-meter antenna which gets the data into our computers.
Okay.
So we have a station computers. Actually, the data that comes from the satellite gets into the antenna, and it will be down converted and then amplified. Noise will be removed, filtered, and then it will cross over to the station computers, and then it will be disseminated to the users, controllers, spacecraft controllers they are called.
Okay.
So that is how
that's the process.
Nice. Similarly, if the command has to go, it will go back in the same fashion. Again, from station computer, it will go amplification, de-amplification, and then it will go to up converter, so that it will go into the language of the understood by the satellite. And then from the feed, again it will go to the
Okay.
satellite.
Since your background is computer science,
Yeah.
so I think what you deal with is the software aspect of the satellite.
Yeah, actually, I am not into the controlling of the satellite.
Yeah.
We are in the other side where we take care of all such contracts, external agency supports. So that sort of work we are doing, deputations we are taking care. And to top it, we take care of the information services of our organization.
Okay.
So whatever administrative information services, for that, what are the softwares that we require, what is the database that is required to be handled. So we take care of that, and we take care of our web services.
Okay.
So we provide the web services and different applications to the users of
that means it involves coding.
Yeah.
In terms of certain languages that you
Java,
use.
JSP, ASP, then we
languages.
take care of Sybase as a database, which is our backbone of all the database that we are using.
Okay.
So I am into that part, not exactly into the control of the satellites. There are other personnel taking care of the...
there are more other kind of softwares that are for each of those controls.
Yes, each of those. We have SDK, then we have MATLAB, which is being used by them. See, the other day when you saw Chandrayaan landing onto the moon, it was the SDK software, satellite software, which was simulated. Real-time data that we were getting was simulated, and you could see the landing. It was not, because you don't have a camera to get that landing to be seen.
Yeah.
So it is a simulated software that you will be seeing, and that was what was happening actually.
Okay.
So it is a software that is being used.
So how big is ISRO? I mean, how many people? What is the kind of staff that is?
Yeah, we are around 17,000 employees spread across India.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many groups are there like this? Do you know?
Yeah. In our office itself, we have around 7 to 8 entities.
Okay.
We have entities.
Like your unit, there are like 7 to 8.
Yeah, we have mechanical services,
Okay.
civil services, then spacecraft operations, then ground station network area, wherein the ground stations different. As I told you, we have so many ground stations. So that will be taken care by the ground station network area. Then we have NSA, Navigation Systems area. We also take care of this navigation, ground segment of navigation satellite.
Okay.
For NavIC, have you heard about NavIC? It's IRNSS, Indian Navigation System.
Okay, yeah.
So that is also being ground segment is handled by us.
Okay.
The satellites are handled by MCF Hassan. That is taking care of all these geostationary communication satellites, which is visible over the earth all 24/7. Okay. So that is taken care by them. So that we have a navigation system. We also have a SSOM. It is Safe and Sustainable Operations Management for debris management. Okay. So we have that. And we have a computers division which takes care of all the station computers, networking, and we have a satellite communication division and terrestrial communication division. Because we are a network of stations, communication plays an important role. Yeah. Without communication, it will be very difficult. Yeah. So we have that. Okay. And also we have, as I told, number of centers. For example, Vikram Sarabhai Space Center in Trivandrum. That is where the launch vehicles are designed, developed and built in VSSC, Trivandrum. Launch vehicles. URSC near Old Airport Road, it is UR Rao Satellite Center. Okay. There they build the satellites. Okay. So they have hundreds of divisions under each of them. That is URSC. Then we have LPSC, it's Liquid Propulsion System Center in Mahendragiri and Valyamala, where the liquid propulsion is being developed and handled, including the cryogenic engines. Then all these and Space Application Center in Ahmedabad, there they develop the payloads. It can be cameras, it can be sensors that is put in the satellite. What are all the and all experimental payloads. There are a lot of in Chandrayaan 3 also we have some 5-6 payloads, experimental payloads. That and all are being, and also some other scientific organizations also give the payloads. So Space Application Center Ahmedabad gives the payloads. So that is sent to URSC, gets integrated into the satellite, and LPSC, all the liquid propulsion and all propulsion will come to Sriharikota, which is our spaceport from where we launch the satellites, and even the launch vehicle comes to Sriharikota. Satellite again will go to Sriharikota. Everything get integrated there. We have 2 space launch pads in Launch Pad 1 and Launch Pad 2 in Sriharikota. So there the launch happens. From the time the launch starts till the satellite is put in orbit, we take care. And if it is a low Earth orbit satellite or a science satellite, again we take, ISRO will take care. And all geostationary satellite, all these INSAT series at that time, now GSAT series, all those things are being taken care by Master Control Facility Hassan. And other small, so many IIRS is there, Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, where they teach the remote sensing subjects. Then IIST, that is our Indian Institute of Space Technology. That is through all these IIT entrance exams, they are taking students for training them for 4 years. It's like any other BTech avionics.
It's like a training institute, right?
It's a college. It's a college. With the avionics, mainly avionics, electronics and other subjects that is being taught for ISRO. And we have LEOS in Pune again, that is a laboratory for electro-optic systems, where they develop these sensors and optical cameras, optical lenses, mainly optical lenses for the cameras and sensors. Whatever sensors was there in Chandrayaan 3 was developed by LEOS. So that is there. So we are headquartered in Nakshettihalli. So all the administrative headquarters is in Nakshettihalli, and that is being managed. That manages. We come under Department of Space and Space Commission. Under Prime Minister of India. That is how it happens.
So you said that we also work with a lot of other countries as well, right? It is, I assume that it is based on the treaties that what is shared and what is not shared. Right? So my question is, now so many countries have gone to the moon. Like for example, US of A has already gone into the moon 50 years before.
69.
So now I don't know, they didn't share anything. Why are we also going there? Because what is the difference then and what is it now?
Actually at that time 66 was the first time when Russians did not land on the moon. They went to the moon without a man landing on the moon. 69 was the year when it was Neil Armstrong went and landed on the moon. And the next was 2019, China. And we also tried in 2019. We were not successful. But 2023, we are the 4th country to reach the moon. 66 and 69 was long time when nothing was known. It was only objective was to go to the moon and land and that
but
was the
main.
That was the objective. That's all. Now what we are doing is 2019 China went. That is for them to take the inputs. And when ISRO went in 23, we have around 6 payloads that is checking the what are all the minerals that you are going to get. We could find elements, sulfur, aluminium, iron, all those things we could detect. And also we could detect using the instrument for lunar seismic activity. We could detect a small activity on the moon. Maybe that was due to some meteorite, asteroid. We are not sure, that is being analyzed now. So some activity we were able to get.
Okay.
And Chandrayaan-1 itself could detect water. And now that we have gone to the South Pole, where nobody went, and it is almost at the other side of the moon, where nobody has gone. We absolutely had no idea how it was, what was the landing structure there, whether there are so many craters. Nobody had any idea about it. So we went there.
So why did we choose South Pole?
Yeah, because nobody went there. Because because we wanted to explore that part of the moon. This part of the moon people have explored, and because there are so many moon, they are orbiting the moon. There are so many satellites which are orbiting the moon. They are getting but from the south side they will not get anything. So now South Pole we could go there. And we also we had one more experiment where we could find the temperatures. It bore into the surface, lunar surface, and found out on top what is the temperature. You have a variation of around 50 to 60 degrees from the surface to inside, just some 10 centimeters inside. It's a huge difference of temperature. So see, all these things you can see whether it is possible to go and inhabit it there. Is there any chance of going there? And if we go there, whether we can have some plants that you can grow there. Because see, moon doesn't have any atmosphere. So it's very difficult. And even if you have to grow a plant, you need a greenhouse. In a greenhouse only, with covered and all those things we can grow. And whether man can go and habitate there. So, and one more experiment was from the moon. We are checking because there is a propulsion unit which is moving. It will check what are the characteristics of Earth, so that which is habitated now. So they can check the signatures and later use the signatures to study a planet and see whether the signatures match. And you can go and stay there. So that is also one more experiment. So a lot of experiments have gone through.
So the main missions or the main vision of these expeditions are to check whether human habitation is possible or not. And that's why you're checking materials, texture, and if there is water and all that. So that's what it is. So the one question which I keep seeing on the internet about the comments that keeps coming, that why is India spending so much on Chandrayaan, and there is already so much that the government can do here and stuff like that. Why are we spending so much money to go to moon and check what is going on there? So do you have any answer for that?
One thing I can tell, see, we are spending 0.33% of the GDP on this. It is just peanuts. And always ISRO has been very cost efficient, cost effective, and we don't go for big bang things. We are always looking into indigenization and developing our own industry. So from that, even industries are now getting into the space domain. And with the space, Prime Minister has opened up the space sector for private sectors. So that way, there are many private sectors which are coming in, and we are hand-holding them to do the experiments that they want to do. There are Skyroot, Agnikul, Digantara, so many private players which are coming into the market.
There are so many startups
Startups.
Yeah.
And now slowly Skyroot is going into one launch vehicle also. They are developing a launch vehicle. Our father of space, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai said, we should be second to none in using advanced technologies for the good of the mankind.
Correct.
So whatever we are doing is for the good of the mankind.
Yeah.
If you say, these are all science experiments that we have to do, as our father of space, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai said, we should be second to none in using advanced technologies for the good of the mankind.
Correct.
So whatever we are doing is for the good of the mankind. Yeah.
So one more addition to that would be anything scientific discovery, scientific expeditions at the advanced level shows the power of a country, or the intelligence and intellect of the country and the will of the country. So that's why probably there are these superpowers like America or Japan or China, or they kind of showcase their sort of prowess or power. So it also works in the realm of geopolitics, that how they are so powerful.
I agree with you, but ISRO has never been in the business for any competition. Never in the business for competition. It is always for the good of our mankind, whether our people are able to get the benefits out of this. So that is the main goal of ISRO. It has never been a competition. We have been taking baby steps till now, and we have crossed over from that stage and gone into a higher, maybe because of the intellect and experience that we were able to do that. So it's always been that way. So if you see we have telemedicine, we have tele-education, and village resource centers. So these are all being handled by ISTRAC only.
Correct.
So we do have all those telemedicine.
Everything happens through satellites.
Yeah, everything happens to satellite. And also we have a disaster management wherein we have a search and rescue. We have COSPAS SATSAT, all global network cooperation for search and rescue. So all South Asian nations search and rescue is being handled by ISRO. Okay, so wherever if you are carrying a beacon and if it gets activated, it gets automatically activated. Even if it falls down, it will get activated. So using that beacon, we can track where that person is. This can be in a mountain, can be in a ship, wherever, in a forest. He has got lost. So he is switching on the beacon. The signals come here, and that will go to regional centers for disseminating and rescuing them.
Right.
So that is one part. So that everything and every governmental agency, if they want to map any particular area, they can take the data from NRSC. I forgot to tell about NRSC is National Remote Sensing Center, Hyderabad, where they analyze and disseminate the process and disseminate all data to the user agencies, whoever wants it.
So, for example, today, if people ask what is the, I am sure people understand the use of satellites, but today people use Google Maps, right?
Yes.
So, does ISRO have a contribution to that?
Yeah, our NavIC,
the Indian navigation.
Regional Navigation satellites. We have around 4 satellites now. We need 7 satellites to cover all South Asian regions. So that is an answer to GPS. NavIC is an answer to GPS. So now, recently also Minister Jitendra Singh has announced that all the new mobile phones will have this NavIC
Yeah.
installed in the mobile phone.
Yeah.
So we will be taking care of that. GPS part of it also will be taken care. We are not looking into global access like GPS. So we are looking into our region
India.
only. Yeah,
India or probably Southeast Asia.
Yeah. India and around 1,500 kilometers within that range.
Right. Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
That is what we are taking.
So just to understand the composition of people in ISRO and the work culture, because we have seen pictures with a lot of women, mostly women that are, I don't know whether only that is showcased, but can you just tell about
20% are women.
Wow.
20% of the total are women. And we have a mix of people that may include administrative. We need administrative support. So all.
Are there any foreigners working?
No.
No, it's all Indians.
Indians only.
Okay.
No foreigners.
No foreigners.
No.
Okay. And any people who are deputed from here and any other?
From here, yes. We depute, as I told, we depute our people to Mauritius.
Are they permanently there or?
No, Biak and Mauritius, every 6 months they are getting deputed, some 5 to 6 engineers.
Okay.
And to Brunei, whenever there is a launch, support that is required from Brunei only, they will go some max of 1 month, not more than that.
And what is the sort of I'm just curious to know the work culture in ISRO.
Yeah, actually, as I told, we have senior engineers in the middle level and at the starting level who have just joined. We have technical assistants and scientific assistants who are diploma holders and BSc graduates. And we also have BCom holders who work in the administrative areas. Our personal and general admin, purchase, stores. We do a lot of procurement. For all these requirements, we have to do a lot of procurement. Then we have accounts, finance and accounts where we all bills, everything needs to be processed. So that is one part. And engineering part is there. And we have civil engineers, electrical engineers, AC. Then
do you work in shifts?
Yes, ISTRAC works in shifts because we are taking care of around 26 satellites. 26 satellites. Total ISRO has around 53 satellites. We take care of 26 satellites. Some 4 to 5 are science satellites like Chandrayaan 2, 3. Mom got stopped recently. That is a Mars orbiter mission, Mangalyaan. And then we have AstroSat. Megatropics came down. Other than that, all are remote sensing satellites, 23 remote sensing satellites. So it is visible over a place every 2 to 3 hours. So we call it a pass. So when it is coming over Bangalore, we have a pass of some 10 to 15 minutes where if we have to give any commands, that has to be given from Bangalore. And other ground stations, they only track telemetry and tracking will be done. Commands always go from Mission Operations Complex, only Bangalore.
Okay.
From Bangalore only the commands will go.
Okay.
So during that period we have to send the commands.
Okay.
So you imagine we have 23 satellites and every 2 to 3 hours, so it is continuous. And each satellite will be delegated to a group of engineers and technicians. We also have technicians, ITI trainees also we have, who have to take care of those mechanical, especially who have to climb the antenna and make all those feeds, everything needs to be done. So we have a mix of all people and culture. ISRO, it's always called ISRO culture, wherein even the smallest of the employee at the lowest level, his voice is heard.
Okay, that's nice.
His voice is heard. In a meeting, there is no such sense of higher or lower, nothing.
Okay.
If you have a viewpoint, you can say that.
Okay.
And it will be heard If it is relevant, it will be taken.
And that has been like that
Yes,
from
from
years?
the beginning.
Okay.
That is why it is called ISRO culture.
Okay.
That is what we always tell. Anybody.
Right.
My junior, I don't mind learning from my junior if it is really worth learning. Yes.
Okay.
Everybody, and we have lot of review committees, and we have post-flight analysis, wherein we have to analyze what happened, if there's any issue, how it can be overcome. And we have review systems and FD has full dress rehearsals
Okay.
for the launch vehicles.
Okay.
And for FRR, it is called full flight readiness reviews.
Okay.
Then we have ISTRAC readiness review. So each of the ISRO center will have its own review committee. So we'll have IRR. We take care of that also. PP, Program Planning and Evaluation Group, takes care of ISTRAC readiness review. We have 3 to 4 meetings, wherein every element that needs to be seen can be reviewed by our director. So that is how it happens, and
Okay.
it's a good mix of all.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So when I asked you about the shifts in work and generally to work culture, I also wanted to know the stress and the energy levels when there is a mission, right? So what are do you work late hours? Like how does it happen when there is a mission? Like how does it happen?
Actually, if you see important missions, Chandrayaan 3 or Aditya, all these controllers and all have worked days together. 3 days, 4 days.
Okay. So remaining in the office.
Even in the office, even though a person has come to replace him, they continue to work because that is the passion with which we all work.
Nice.
That is the passion. They continue to stay there and see that everything goes on well. Everybody, starting from the deputy director of the spacecraft operations group and deputy director of this ground station network area. Everybody will be there. And our director, we have our associate directors. So everybody stays, and during this landing, we had an apex committee which had to work day and night to make all the arrangements. That can include even the smallest of catering, transport. We had to provide transport to everybody who is coming, and catering, parking space. We were expecting so many, around 300 to 400 cars were parked in and around his track on that day. And around 450 media personnel had come, and we had made the arrangements for them in our spacecraft control center with a big shamiana, and for them their vans, OB vans, everything for that way. So everybody works with that passion, and
so that is the one that ties everybody together.
Yes.
Okay.
And they continue to work, and every one of us, it's everyone, each and every person, including, you can say, a cleaner, a sweeper, a gardening assistant, everybody, including contract employees. Everybody has worked full time, always, whenever you are called. We are all available on phone, anytime.
Okay.
We get calls from other countries even in the midnight. Whatever problems they are facing, we had to solve. And our team had gone to Pacific Ocean this time for Aditya launch. So off Los Angeles. So there, actually speaking, that team had a very tough job. They couldn't even, whatever water they carried got over. They had to boil the water and drink. Whatever food, packed food they took, it got over. And literally, they didn't have much food.
Okay.
See, it took 16 days to reach the point from where they had to track, and 16 days to come back. So they were working in those conditions, and on the sea, and if they are crossing the equator, what is the turbulence, and every one of them were sick. Still continued to work.
Right.
So it is a very good And we have a very good stress management. Recently, there was one article in paper where one dosa and one coffee is enough to keep people working continuously.
Together.
Yes.
Nice.
So that way, and we have a very good support system in terms of canteen, in terms of transport.
Right.
Everything is taken care very well.
Okay.
So our management takes very good
And that
care
has
of
been the
everybody.
case all through the years?
Yes,
Okay.
all through the years.
Okay.
In my 34 years of service,
Okay.
it has been like that.
Okay.
And
Nice, ma'am.
it continues.
So, I was always curious about this because when I read about India, that is Bharat, which is Bharat, if you say, Bharat has such a vibrant history of the scriptures and people who had the knowledge of the planets
Yes.
without having
Yes.
physical satellites
Correct.
and all that.
Correct.
First thing, I don't know how they were able to do it.
Yes.
And I don't know whether you have an idea that
Little bit of idea I can just
please
try to
enlighten us.
explain.
Like, how did they even
Yeah.
know that these planets exist, and they developed all these navagrahas,
Yes.
and how they connected the navadanyas with the navagrahas, and if they did Vedic astrology, and Jyotishya Shastra
Yes,
is
yes,
basically
yes.
that. How did they even? That is actually almost zero budget.
Yes, yes,
Right?
zero
If,
budget.
if
Yes, yes,
ISRO
yes.
can do it in do a Chandrayaan in 600 crores, they did that possibly in zero budget.
Yes.
Like, how did they even were able to do
Yeah,
that?
actually, as you rightly say, there's not much scriptures that we'll be able to get from where you know how they did it. Only thing I have read, they used to build big towers. And naturally, there was no telescope or anything
Right.
at that time. So whatever small instruments, and mainly through the shadows that fall, then the sun raising, the moon raising, and the religious functions which had to be done in particular times. So from that they were able to get is a small knowledge that I have. Even I am not having that much of knowledge.
Right.
But Aryabhatta, 4 to 5 in 4-5 BC or
Right.
century BC, he had so much of knowledge mainly due to these things, towers, and they keep observing the sky.
Right.
From observation only they were able to get.
And I also studied that whatever any agencies, any space agency or ISRO are finding out is mostly accurate to what they had predicted.
It is a fact. Yes. See, even mathematics, zero, who found out? Aryabhatta.
Yeah.
You can see all those in Aryabhatiya and Aryabhatta.
Yeah, our first satellite was named
Aryabhatta. Yeah. And zero was found out from him. And I can say zero is so important anywhere. It's not only in mathematics or anywhere. Placement or whatever. If you see, when Chandrayaan 3 landed, the vertical velocity and horizontal velocity both had to become zero for it to land.
Yeah.
So that it's so important. And also at that time, imagine 4-5 BC, he had the knowledge of sine, cosine, quadratic equations. Even now it will not go into our heads, all those things.
Yeah.
So he had that knowledge that Indians had at that time was immense. Can't even imagine. That's why all those Vedas and Vedantas were written by them. They had maybe spirituality was one reason for such knowledge.
Right. And they had what do you call, the cosmic download of these things, this is what it is.
Yes.
Possibly that one.
And mainly, you see, Jantar Mantar was built for that reason only.
Purpose,
So many, in some 5 places in India, you have the Jantar Mantar.
Correct.
So it is observation facility.
Right.
So without any instruments, you can say.
Correct. Yeah.
So, and in this position, if some shadow falls, what will happen?
Yeah.
Eclipses. lunar eclipse, solar eclipse.
Based on that,
Yes,
they used to calculate and then
yes.
do it that way.
Yes, and he was the one who told that the planets move in an elliptical motion and Earth moves on its axis. So these are all the knowledge, as you say, we don't know how they were able to get it to
Correct.
that extent.
Yeah. And does ISRO apply these learnings and studies from our ancient India?
As you told, whatever physics that we have to apply are the same, which are the principles given by them only.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And which was further known by Kepler or Newton or all those scientists from there only. Anyway, whatever they had invented or discovered or
based
found
on
out.
that is what you do.
Yes, that has come generation down to us. Yes, we apply all those things.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so again, it's about the culture. That question is that it was a big news anyways.
Yes.
That before the launch, scientists had gone into Tirupati, Tirumala, or some other temples to to pray.
Yes.
Now there was a comment that scientists are going to temples. So what do you have to say about it?
Our chairman himself has told recently why I go to temple.
Yeah.
So that is for my basic satisfaction, my mystical behavior that I have to follow, my religious practices are mine. Frankly speaking, when it was landing, each and every one of us was praying in that control center. All of us were praying for the success. So there is something that we really have to do. It is not just the science that goes into it. Yes.
Right. There's something more.
Yeah, and frankly, everybody knows there's something more, which otherwise how we would have been here.
Yeah.
How all things should have happened in that particular way. One small body part, if it is damaged, what will happen? How difficult it is.
Yeah.
And how perfect some supernatural power should be there to do all these things.
Right. Yeah.
So that way, yes, we do go to Tirupati, we do go to the temple in Sriharikota. Here also, all of us were praying for the success. So that
So for example, in again, as a counter to that thought, what somebody had said that for the satellite to go up, you need fire.
Yes.
Man didn't create that fire, right?
Yeah.
It is a natural thing. From where did that come from? It's something which it's supernatural.
Correct.
So in the same way smoke, or in the same way gases, or anything like that. So I mean, these kind of debates keep happening.
That will happen. That is always there.
Yeah.
And with the social media eruption now, everything is discussed,
on
debated.
both the sides.
Yes.
Right.
That is always there. But yes, we do have that. Science is one part, religion is another part.
Correct.
So we take care of both.
Okay.
This is what our chairman Somnath also told.
And almost everybody follows it in the organization.
Yes.
And based on their personal whatever
Yes.
spirituality they follow.
Yes.
That's nice. So and now coming to the budget. There are so many jokes on the internet that in Bangalore, if I have to travel from, let's say, Electronic City to the airport, it takes more money, but I can go to Chandrayaan, it is more cheaper because per kilometer is much cheaper. How does ISRO do it, right? How does it achieve such low budget levels?
Frugal management, and our budget itself, what we get from the government is a good enough budget that we are getting, but still, yes, we manage with mainly indigenization.
Okay.
The recent we were importing our equipments, but now mainly it is indigenization.
So how much is indigenous and how much is?
You can say now it is around 50% indigenous.
50 indigenous and 50 from outside.
Yes.
And outside meaning Is it from China, US, or from where is it?
Everywhere, not
Everywhere.
China.
Okay.
Usually
Okay, not China.
not China.
Okay.
I don't know whether it is something controversial. I
Okay.
don't know. Please
Okay.
check it.
Yeah, no
before.
problem. No problem. No problem.
Okay, but not China. All other places we do. France,
Okay.
European countries,
Okay.
Germany,
Okay.
and US.
Mm.
So Russia,
Mm.
we do get from Russia also.
And what about US?
US, yes.
US is
yes,
also there.
yes, yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
Everywhere. They are also supporting us. And we also have a support of JPL, Jet Propulsion System from NASA.
Mm.
They are supporting Chandrayaan 3.
Okay.
Offline support is there from JPL.
Okay.
So we have from all countries imports are happening.
Okay. Okay. So then now for people now who are now the whole country is in very celebratory mood, and there are so many youngsters who wants to be in that kind of their aspirational things have sort of fired up because of Chandrayaan success of it. So as an aspirant to get into ISRO or to do something which is more spacecraft kind of work, what does one have to do? Like for a young student, what should be your what would be their guiding path?
Yeah, one thing is passion. You have to have the passion to work here, and in whichever field you are in, you excel.
Okay.
So mainly
science
and mathematics. Yeah, but the other side of it is also there, as I have been telling, administrative side, because with that is also required. So all BCom, MBA holders also can BA, BCom holders, personal secretaries. So that also is there. Engineering, yes, mainly it is engineering and electronics.
Okay.
Electronics and communication, computer science, and mechanical. These are the major areas where you can get in. And you have to have that passion to work. One thing I can tell you, we do not earn like all those private entrepreneurs.
Right. Yeah.
That it's more than sufficient. Whatever we are earning, it's more than sufficient. But it's not to that level.
Right.
But we are happy.
Right.
We are happy doing our job, and that job satisfaction is what is important.
Right.
See, whatever small amount of work I am doing, if I am doing it with joy, with happiness, that is itself in a different plane altogether.
Right.
So we have to do. I keep telling my juniors, do your work with happiness, joy. That is what I have been doing this past 34 years. Any job, I don't mind doing anything that has been given to me. There is no need to crib saying, this is not my job, this is not my job. Everything is a job that needs to be done with passion, joy, happiness.
Right.
That is my mantra. And even for retiring employees, I tell the same thing. Now, go and enjoy the other side of the life.
Yeah.
You have worked all these years. So enjoy that also.
Yeah.
You travel. You go anywhere you want. Or what is it? You have hobbies. You do. You take care of your hobbies. So all those things.
Okay.
Are
So
very
once
important.
young person comes into ISRO, I think the culture sort of takes care of all of this.
Yes.
Even though the salaries may be not as high as the private players, or somebody what a scientist gets paid in the US of A is not equivalent to what a scientist here gets paid, but still this scientist here is happy doing what he's doing, right? Because there was a debate on this also, that some the chairman is earning only so much, is this justified? And there was a debate that was going on there. So what you're saying is, whatever the earning, what we are doing, we are happy with it.
Yes.
We are working with passion.
Yes.
That's what you're
Yes.
trying to say.
Yes.
That's so nice.
Everybody, the smallest technician will work with that passion, that happiness when you could see when it landed.
Yeah.
That itself gives expression to what we feel.
Right, right.
Every one of us was so happy.
Yeah.
That satisfaction you will not get anywhere
Right,
else.
right.
That is what is important.
Yeah. Did you get the chance to interact with the Prime Minister?
Yeah, we were all part of that women employees who were supposed to meet
Okay.
PM.
Okay.
And
Did he have a personal interaction?
No, not a personal interaction. Some 3-4 beside him could interact. All of us, I was in the second row, and we had around 129 women employees who worked for Chandrayaan 3, who were selected, and we were, and he spoke to us.
Okay.
And gave us lot of encouragement, motivation.
Okay.
That was the thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now what is the next future missions that are there?
Yeah, as I told, you have already heard about Aditya 1.
Which is
L1.
the mission to the sun.
Mission to the sun. Actually, it is going to the Lagrange point 1.
What is that?
Which is 1% of the distance of the sun from the earth. Just 1%.
Wow.
Please understand, it's 1% of the. Why we are going there? It is around 15 lakh kilometers.
Okay.
15 lakh kilometers, and that is 1% into 100 is this distance of the sun.
Wow.
Why we are going there is we will not have any eclipses, occultations of the moon, so that you can study the sun all the time.
As close as 1%.
Yes, as close as 1%.
Wow.
It's just 1% that we are going. So now it has crossed the Earth atmosphere, and it is traveling to L1 point. It will reach on January 6th to that point. So again we'll have one more insertion. L1 insertion will be there. So it will orbit that L1 point. From there, it will study the sun and get all the data which will be disseminated in ISRO. We have a Indian Space Science Data Center in Bailalu, which is 45 kilometers from Bangalore, near the Doddaladamara, where we have our 32-meter antenna, biggest antenna in India, and 18-meter antennas. So when the satellite crosses 1 lakh kilometers, these 11-meter antennas cannot track it. So these are the ones which track, and we also take support of ESA, JPL for tracking the other areas.
Wow.
From other areas.
Okay.
So from there we are tracking this Aditya L1. And data gets downloaded to ISSDC in Bailalu only, and that again is processed and disseminated, and ISSDC data is available to all users, anybody, free of cost. You only have to register with a username, and you will get your credentials, and you can access. So people do access the data, do the PhD using this data.
Wow.
So this is what has happened. So that data will come, Aditya L1 data will come here. That is one mission we are doing. Now we are going into Gaganyaan. First without any human. It is a test satellite.
Okay.
Then we have with the robo.
Okay.
One more with the robo.
That is
and
Gaganyaan.
Later, Gaganyaan we have 3 to 4. First 4 will not be with the human being because we had to test. Imagine there you have to have 0 errors. 0 errors. Here even one small point, not 9% error also is okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
But there it has to be 0 error.
Right.
So we are having some 4 satellites to test, and then we are planning for a human going into the orbit around 300-400 kilometers above the Earth.
Okay.
Just 3-4 days he'll be there.
Okay.
And come back. Then we have mission to Venus. like Mars. We have a mission to Venus. And there are so many other missions that are coming up in the future.
Yeah.
We have our vision for the next few years.
Few years, it's almost like 10, 15 years already.
Yes.
Wow.
We have
That's
all
like
this.
your plate is full.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
This year has been a fantastic year with so many satellites that have been flown into the space.
So in terms of the adulations that you got, there are so many people who wants to send you messages, appreciation.
Yes.
How did you, did you get, how did you, there must be a lot of appreciatory messages that came, right?
Yeah.
Can you just tell a little?
Actually, as soon as we had lot of visitors, first of all. Whether it is
people just walk in?
Yeah. Many of them, yes. Chief Minister, Governor, the Deputy Chief Minister, many MLAs.
Yeah.
That sort of people were there. And other than that, the hotels, all 5-star hotels sent us cakes with congratulatory message. Every day for the next 10 days, we were getting cake and all other
flowers, maybe
flowers, cakes, bouquet, all those were coming.
Nice.
Other than that, we had messages from the postal department of Mysore. We had maybe some 600 to 700 pages of messages from each and every branch of a postal department in Mysore.
Wow.
And also there was one girl from Shivkashi, some 12th standard girl who sent a letter, handwritten letter, neatly written letter appreciating ISRO.
So is it only one letter or that
That was one letter that we got recently.
Nice.
So and we replied for that.
Nice.
Other than that, we had one...
is there a separate department for this or...?
No, nothing like that. We don't have anything like that. It's
so apart from your regular job,
we
you have to do
this also. Yes. Then there was one chartered accountancy company near our East Track, which sent a book with their written signatures and photographs of how they celebrated Chandrayaan 3 success.
Wow.
Like fireworks, dance, Holi. All photos have been affixed in that book. They have sent it. And also they have sent Bhagavad Gita copies.
Wow.
So that was
for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was not everyone. Some copies.
Yeah,
which can be kept in office. Some copies they have sent. So that
you kept it in that library. Anybody can read.
Yes. Yeah. So like that we have been receiving and mails, many mails congratulating the teams that has come, and lot of felicitations are happening all over Bangalore.
Nice.
Not only all over Bangalore, all over India, you can say alumni. Each college is calling their alumni and appreciating, felicitating people. So it is a good feel factor for us.
You deserve all of it actually, very much. Every Indian is so proud, right? That day when the launch happened, anybody, either from the opposite side or the ruling side or everybody were like...
everybody. Actually, my husband's cousin was telling me the other day, he was traveling from office to home in a van. He had some 20-30 employees, and when the landing happened at 6 o'clock, they were near Konankunte. So he had asked his junior to get some Cadbury's, and immediately after landing he distributed to his team. Then they were asking what happened. No, I have a cousin who is working there, so I am distributing sweets. Like that, everybody has a story to tell.
It was almost like India won the World
Cup.
It's like that.
See, actually, Twitter or YouTube, whatever live was coming, it was 8 million, the highest views ever that whether it is a cricket match or a football match.
Yeah.
So our Chandrayaan 3 landing was the 8 million
Yeah.
views, which
Right,
was
right. So good.
so everybody, sir, you can say everyone has called and told. Who were not in touch also have called and told that it's so exciting to
Yeah.
see this, and
Yeah.
it was a very nice feeling that we really
So,
had.
so do you have like any message or a parting shot for the youngsters or anyone, just in general, like
Yeah.
as a parting shot? Do you have any message for
Yeah,
everyone?
as I told already, be passionate,
Mm.
enjoy the work that you do, whether it is studying, whether it is playing, whether it is working, anywhere, enjoy what you do.
Mm.
Then you'll succeed in life. I also tell our people, all these days we were never in the limelight.
Yeah.
So one day everyone will get a chance.
Mm.
That please be patient and wait for that one day to get into the limelight, so that you have to do it with passion.
Yeah. I'm sure you did all with the passion that you had for
and
34
with
years.
the support of my family.
Yeah, that's also important.
Yeah, my family, my husband, my children, who encouraged me in everything that I was doing, whether it is studying later. When I had to actually I had to study in the midnight, because I do all the works, then sit and study in the midnight.
Right.
So that, and I will take 1 minute where I can tell my mother-in-law how she helped me in my journey. I wouldn't have been in this position if it was not for her, because I had one MTech exam that was on artificial intelligence, neural networks. Okay, because, and frankly speaking, that was out of my vision, or I was not
out
able
of
syllabus not at all able to understand. So morning I had an exam at 2:00 in the morning, afternoon. Then I got up in the morning, 6:00. I told my mother-in-law, Amma, I'll not go to the exam because I have not studied. I didn't understand anything. I have not studied anything. I'll not go. Then she told, unless you go to the exam, how do you know what questions you will get? No, you go, like that she told. Then from 10 to 12, I studied 2 hours. With all concentration, I studied for 2 hours, went for the exam. 30-40 was the passing mark. I got 45.
Wow.
That was, and see, if in our, if I have to show my MTech or MSc in my office, I have to show it if I get first class only. In this I got 45, others I got distinction. So that balanced and everything was distinction. And that's how I got my promotion. So it is because of her words that I was able to really come up. So that support from my family. Before my parents, my parents are not there. They passed away long back. So every one of them have been supportive. My sisters-in-law, every time anything, Hema, I saw you here. My one sister-in-law has posted one photograph with governor where I am there. She will search all these things and send it. So everybody has been very encouraging. That every ISRO employee has the support of their family behind them for whatever success that has been achieved. Everybody.
Yeah. So everybody put together is where we are on the moon.
Yes, we are on the moon. India is on the moon. Because, and every citizen, you can say, every citizen of India, and encouragement from PM, everybody. Again, the parting shot, be passionate. That is my mantra, you can say.
Ma'am, thank you so much. And congratulations once again. Congratulations to all of us, in fact, for the whole of India, the whole of Bharat, and wherever Indians are there. It's really a proud moment. And thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. And all the best to you, all the best to all the missions that are coming up. May all the missions succeed, and let's be in much more better positions in terms of scientific advancement and space. So thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, and it was my pleasure talking to you. It was wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.